for tuning into INCRadio Micronesia. I am Sister Arlene Malikton from the local congregation of Guam, broadcasting here on the island of Guam. And with us is some of my crew members. Let's go ahead and start off with Brother Sean. Let's go ahead and introduce yourself, Paul.
Hello, I'm Brother Sean Pierce Natividad from the locale of Guam. Back to you, Ate R.
Nice. He is also my YouTube engager and also reader tonight. So those who have your comments and also engagement question answers, please drop a comment or two and also be able to conversate with us there on the chat box. And once more, we want to go ahead and tell everybody tonight here on INC Radio Micronesia, our title of our broadcast is all about appreciating our leaders. So how do you show that? So what more to have a leader himself here with us guesting all the way in a different island on the island of Saipan. Let's go ahead and introduce yourself, Brother Catmello.
Hello po, I am Brother Carmelo San Nicolas. I am from the local congregation of Cobblerville, and my office is an organist in the church.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brother Catmello. And yes, an organist and what more also to talk about a little bit of the choir special gathering that you have attended. So such a blessing. And what more to give more appreciation to our leaders for such a wonderful event. I wish you were one of our guests last week in our broadcast. But going now to this broadcast, talking about appreciating our leaders, Brother Cat Mello. Who do you consider the leaders in your life?
Well, first, I would like to say the leaders in my life is the ones placed in the administration. They continue to lead and guide our faith and grow. As the world continues to worsen, we're able to find solace and peace in our worship services and receive their instructions, which truly shows us how much they care for us. And another leader I would consider is someone who I believe God bless all of us with, which is our parents. Specifically for me, it's my mom and my dad. They are leaders in my life and really taught me well, especially in being a strong member in the Church of Christ.
Awesome. Two great points because you did not forget your mom and dad. So hello po to your parents. And thank you for raising such a bright and wonderful son because an organist being also a leader of yourself too in a position here in the Church of Christ, leading the choir under your care in playing the organ and learning all the different notes and all the hymns. So thank you so much for that. And you also mentioned about our church administration. Thank you. Yes, we are definitely all about talking about that here on INC Radio, uh, particularly like with the church administration and also on our parents because yes, our parents does guide us right in our everyday life. They are the first ones to see us all the time. So uh always give due respect to them, right? And I'm glad that you did mention that for your parents being a leader in life. How about work? Do you currently work, Brother Camelo?
Yes, sister. I work as a special education teacher aide in elementary school here.
Again in a position of leadership too because you know you're there to actually help and guide those students. So again, you're another in a position to lead as well, even outside of the church. So that's good. You enjoy the job that you have. How is it with leading the the students?
So I work with students who have disabilities and may find occasional struggles in the general education classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I find it really inspiring seeing how they grow and being part of that journey because, when you go to school, that's practically your future. So being part of or being an instrument in their lives, especially those who are in a way set back by their disabilities, are really it's a really inspiring moment as an educator.
Yes, because you just never know that one one technique will actually work. It's really almost like trial and error when you're teaching and when you're leading, right? So yes, I'm glad that you enjoy that. Is that somewhat in your future profession that you want to go into? Is that because I know you're still going to college or not?
I'm actually this is my third year in college. I'm pursuing a bachelor's in education. I'm aiming to be a counselor, but then also gonna be taking my master's in speech pathology.
Wow, congratulations, Brother Camelo. You definitely are in a very good place to be suited for leadership. So, not only, again, not only in church, but also outside in your daily life. So, that's so good. Now, you being a leader, there's other people who are leading you, right? How do you show your appreciation to them? Like, give us, like, maybe two examples.
So, for one of the leaders, which is the church administration, it would be mainly in participating in the various activities launched by the church administration. So, I'm actually a Kadiwa vice president in my local congregation. So, having those activities, being part of those activities, most especially the recent one, the choir special gathering, was a big blessing and a really fun activity. That's a way of showing appreciation to them by participating and showing unity and love for the brotherhood. And as for my parents, as we all know, learning from CWS or the Children's Worship Service, is the obeying and respecting your parents is the first command with a promise. So showing appreciation to them is by working hard, respecting and following them to, what God promises to give us a bright future for if we respect our parents.
Wow, so many good examples, and that is so true. All of it you have mentioned is so true. Yeah, I love that you mentioned that that is the first commandment with a promise with our parents, right? You know, as we grow up and sometimes we have our own personalities and ways of what we want to do in life. You know, parents are always going to guide us. You know, they're going to say maybe you shouldn't go that way. You know, maybe you should do it different. You know, sometimes parents know it. They just know it. And then when it does happen, you'd be like, yeah, my parents were right, right? So it's good that you do cherish that first commandment that we do cherish and respect our parents and also listen to them because yes, they are our first leaders in our life. And then you mentioned also unity and being active in all the activities. That's so true. I want to hit on that because that particular message that or perspective you have because you're right. Being a leader and having to get everyone together for an activity shows unity, right? But also you want to be able to have that camaraderie with each other. And when you have good camaraderie with each other and good rapport, then it's going to be easier to lead, right? It'll be easier like to say, you know, I know this person's going to be here, you know, they're so active and I know that they're going to benefit. So it's like in turn, when we do support for all these activities, it's not only the benefit for us, but also our leaders are benefiting for their hard work, and that's what we need to appreciate with them is that they think about these things, even though they're so busy in doing other things, right? They give us the opportunity to try to get together and to have these fun activities, to get to know each other, and that in turn will strengthen the brotherhood. And I love that you pinpointed that because we do need to continue to grow in our faith, right? And participate in other activities, which you also had earlier. We're not going to mention here, but you like pretty much came on time to make it for this broadcast. So I like to thank you so much, Brother Camelo. I appreciate you and your time here on INC Radio Micronesia. So, knowing all of that, Brother Camelo, now you're as young. I think you said you mentioned in our pre-show 21 years old. Is that correct? You're young.
Yes,
Could you- Yes.
21.
Okay. So you as a leader, you're very young in age and also experience, right? We all want to try to get the experience, gain the experience as much as possible, as fast as we can. But of course, the church is growing, the world is growing. Things are changing so rapidly, technology, all of that stuff, right? But new leaders are gonna come up, and they're gonna come up, and they're young, they're younger than us, and how do you appreciate them? I'm curious for your perspective. Thanks.
So, as a organist in my locale, I also cover for the children's worship service. I think a good example for like a younger leader, I would also extend to like the Binhi leadership who kind of followed after my friends who are in the same batch as me. Now we're all Kadiwas. Um, and usually we would partner up like the Binhi leadership and the Kadiwa leadership, seeing them grow, seeing them have experiences even outside of church as well in leadership. Um, Really shows to appreciate, and I also get to learn new things that maybe I haven't experienced or known of, being like the older one. And as for in an organist perspective, my younger sister is actually the CWS choir leader in my locale, so that puts her being above me, right? And seeing her take a leadership role and being a leader from how we grew up together in the children's worship service choir, she really knows how to stand up, enforce rules, be able to also advocate for the basically the youth, and also give me instructions on how to perform my various tasks in the worship service properly. And that really shows me that the future of the church is going to be in good hands with the youth who have more experience. They have new things that they are bringing to, I guess, to the table for the older ones. We also learn from them, the same way how they learn from us.
That is so true. I love that you're so open to that, and don't get me wrong, we're actually pretty much open to that. When it comes to this new generation, and you're right, they are bringing a lot to the table, and making us learn so many things. Not just what you have mentioned, not just in our church duties, but also other things like technology or jargons or some sort, right? And we need to be able to collaborate and kind of like uh, know what they're talking about, right? Even though it may be almost slightly a different language, right? Or
Yeah,
language barrier, but they still have the same concept in mind. And I love how you mentioned about your sister. So congratulations to your sister, CWS leader. I definitely cheer you on, sister, because I too was a CWS choir leader at one point, so I knew how it is to lead the little children in the choir. So, and I think she may have been inspired by you too, Brother Catmelo. So kudos to the Kuya hat, right? You showed her, and
yeah,
maybe she was inspired as well. And if it's her calling, that's great. She's gonna do so much, even as young as she is, already a CWS choir member. She's gonna be a top choir member, and she's gonna be leading that. So that's a good thing. I I like the fact that the experience that she may have, she will also share it with you and how to perform better. That's a good thing. When sometimes this generation, they're very like active when it comes to watching and listening. So you always have to be on point, right? on point and making sure
Yes.
that you do everything correctly, or they're gonna be like, "What's that's a little different," or maybe it shouldn't have been. Maybe it could have been taught a different way. So yes, new techniques are happening now. There are new ways of saying things, delivering things, teaching things, right? So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were able to have your sister an example as a very very young leader. So and appreciating what their thoughts are, because we need to be able to grow up in this upcoming generation, which they will be the future of the church. So yes, thank you so much for that. You are such a great guest tonight. Sorry, I was like guest tonight, and
Thank you.
you have mentioned so much to give so much appreciation to even those who are possibly listening from your local congregation. So shout out to the local congregation of Cobblerville, and also to your resident minister. Who's your resident minister again, Brother Carmelo?
His brother RJ Villegas.
Yes. I just want to make sure. I'm gonna shout out to him because he's also our DMA. So, uh, hello, Ka RJ. Hope you're doing well and your family. And thank you again for having Brother Carmelo come here as our guest as well. Um, before we end our discussion this evening, I do want to give you this opportunity uh, to have a special message to the leaders in your life. So it can be one, two, three leaders. It's up to you. But this is your time to show your appreciation to them. Go ahead, Bob.
So there's a lot of leaders in, I guess, in my life. So I guess I'll go down the line. Starting off, obviously, is with my parents. Want to give special thanks for them for, guiding me, growing in faith. As if for those who remember me, since I've been a previous guest in the broadcast before, I'm actually a convert to the Church of Christ. So seeing how my parents was able to help me grow in faith and be able to learn more about what the Church of Christ is, and grow in faith, and now hold this leadership roles that I have, is a really cherishable moment that I know I will carry on for the rest of my life. Not and going off from church too, with my studies as well, and currently my job. All parents always wish for their children to have a bright future. The next leaders I will go towards is obviously my choir leadership, both in the district level and in the local level. They're all amazing. They're great in teaching all of us, and obviously they're an extension to the church administration, who's also a leader in my life for guiding our faith, and most especially in our uh, services and our tasks for our Almighty God. That's about all from my leaders.
Wow, so many to mention. I know you were very vague and not name dropping everybody, but you did mention a lot of the groups. So thank you so much, Brother Camelo. Yes, definitely. We want to always thank the church administration first for an awesome broadcast like this when we're talking about appreciating them, because we do appreciate them and all their hard work, even from our resident ministers to our district level to all the way to our executive minister. They all do so much for us and always take care of us and uh, help us grow in our faith. So thank you so much, Paul, for your love and concern to all of us here in the District of Micronesia as well. So we want to go ahead and mention who our YouTube chatters are, and this is going to be the part for Brother Sean.
Hey, thank you, Ate R. Before we begin, Kuya Tech, can you play our YouTube chat bumper?
Hey, Team Live Chat! Thank you for supporting us. We love hearing about your experiences here on INCRadio. Let us also know where you are joining us from.
Are you familiar with our hashtag challenge? If not, you can also participate by mentioning your local congregation as well as which Christian family organization you belong to.
Near the end of our broadcast, We will announce the hashtag challenge winners, so please continue engaging with us in the comments below. We hope you have a nice day and enjoy our show.
Thank you, Kuya Tech, and thank you, Ate R and Brother Cat Mello, for that awesome discussion. So let's go on to our YouTube comments. First, we have Eileen Curentia. She says, "Hi there, INC Radio Micronesia. Great topic. The church administration and the faithful church officers are our best leaders. Thank you po. Hashtag Jigo, hashtag Kawarpalao, hashtag Buklod." Aaron Villegas says, "Good evening, District of Micronesia. Hello po to our District Minister, Brother Joven Cipilio Jr., and our District Assistant District Minister, Brother Julius Malabanan, and to their families po. Hashtag Cobblerville." Brother Matt Partial says, show my appreciation to my leaders by always saying thank you and helping them out even in the smallest ways po, especially those leading us in the church." Poging Charles, he says, "Watching po from Cambales GWS Local of Mangahan, District of Quezon City. Happy viewing po." Brother Mario Oka, he says, "Greeting here or good evening here in the Philippines and enjoy watching here on INC Radio Micronesia Satellite Studio. Greetings from Local of Brixtonville, District of Caloocan North." Thank you for always viewing po. We have Eileen Magkalas. She's hashtagging Cobblerville, hashtagging CFO, and hashtagging choir. Alex Ariola says, "Good evening, brethren in Micronesia from the District of Orange County, California." Ate Jinky Luge Villanueva says, "Good evening po." And we have Richie Angay says, "Good evening po. Hashtag Jigo." Brother Roel Luge, "Good evening po. Hashtag Jigo, hashtag Buklod." And we have Sister Melba watching from locale of Athens, Greece, District of Mediterranean. Keep safe po mga kapatid. So I think that's all I see on our YouTube comments. So back to you, Sister R.
Yes, thank you so much, Brother Sean. Awesome reading for all our comments this evening. I do want to mention who is our number one chatter here in the chat box because I can actually see it. So I want to go and mention to Sister Elaine McCullough is number one chatter here in the YouTube chat. Thank you so much, Paul. She is from the local congregation of Culverville. That's also where Brother Carmelo is from as well. And second, that is right behind there is Sister Eileen Crelentia. So thank you so much for your support. We do have a lot of Jigo and also Culverville here supporting us in our INC Radio Micronesia broadcast. So thank you so much for your support here on the YouTube chat. Now we want to go ahead and go forward with our CFO in action. So Peter. And we are missing the bumper, so that's okay, no problem. But we want to mention what we had last week's not broadcast, but last week here in the District of Micronesia on the island of Guam. We actually had a Care for Humanity, and we were able to give many medical supplies to our older senior citizens there in the village of Maleso. That's in the language of tomorrow, but the English version of that village is called Mariso. So thank you so much for all the brethren who participated in that event. But also coming up is our evangelical mission that's happening here on the island of Guam. It is going to be held in the Rica Laguna Guam Hotel. So we want to go ahead and mention that to all the brethren here to give your full support and also invite those who are close to us so we can all listen to that special message that is coming from the church administration. So once again, thank you so much for tuning into our broadcast, everyone. We want to go ahead and start closing the show. But before that, Brother Catmello, do you have any shout outs you want to give out right now?
Yes, I do actually. So for all the people from my locale, Shout out to the locale of Coblerville. Um, Brother RJ Villegas, our resident minister, and actually the top was it commenter, Sister Elaine Macalas, is actually my choir leader in the locale of Coblerville.
Thank you. She's supporting you. Yes. Yes,
Yes,
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Paul. Yes, how about you, Brother Sean? Do you have any shout outs you want to make, Paul?
I'd like to shout out everyone viewing that is outside the District of Micronesia. Thank you so much, Pope, for supporting us.
Oh, yes, definitely. We do see those commenters on our YouTube chat. So, yes, thank you for those who are tuning into our podcast that is not from our district as well. We want to go ahead and start closing the show. So, we want to mention to our first to our beloved executive minister, Brother Sean, if you want to go ahead and start that off.
Okay. Once again, thank you everyone for viewing our broadcast this evening. Before we close the show, we would like to always thank and greet our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and our Deputy Executive Minister, Brother Angelo Aranio Manalo. Thank you so much for always supporting our uh, our live broadcast po. And next up, we always have to thank our district minister, Brother Joven Cipilio Jr., our assistant district minister, Brother Julius Malabanan, our CFO overseer, Brother Roger Manzanillo Jr., and our DMM advisor, Brother Roger Villegas Jr. Thank you, then, po, for always supporting us.
Yes, thank you so much, Brother Sean. And also to our crew members that are here this evening, Brother Sean, Brother Michael, thank you. Sister Marisol in also offline or offline, but she is also supporting us. And to all our crew members here on Guam and Saipan. We want to also mention to our station manager, thank you so much, Paul, to Brother Wally Toray, and also to our executive producer, Brother Evanwell Andaya, who is guiding us here in this satellite studio. Once more, I want to say good night, Micronesia. And to those who are starting their day, want to say have a nice day. Good evening. Bye.